we're hungry, they keep telling us. And with all UN aid flights halted because of the militant attacks, these people have had very little to eat or drink in nearly a fortnight.
They're all saying how hungry they are and begging us for food and for the authorities to stop this conflict. Look at them, they're all calling, they're all saying, food, we want food.
No, I'm hungry, yes. Hungry. I want my home. Here life is not good.
Now this clip that you just saw was actually taken in Mozambique. It's the result of, the fighting, and these are some of the civilians that escaped, and now, like there's a problem, there's a crisis. And of course we extend our sympathies to the civilian population of Mozambique that is getting caught up in the war for the gas that, was discovered. And my focus really is not really on the violence. My focus is on these men that you can see. Now, as you can clearly see in that clip, the men, just look at these men. I hate to say it, but just look at how pathetic they look. And I'm not talking about physical appearance. I'm talking about the spirit that is in them, the mind that is in them. What you're seeing is a group of men who are total victims. They cannot help themselves. They cannot save themselves. They cannot organize themselves. They are absolute victims. And you can see it's many people. This is not a few people. So I wanted to talk about the weakness that African men display. Always weak. Always begging. Always a victim. Always crying for someone to save them. Now, maybe the clip doesn't show it properly, but there's a Mzungu there. And they're begging this Mzungu to help them. I want you to look at all these people. All of them, their eye is on the Mzungu, begging that one Mzungu to save them. Look at how many they are. You mean to tell me if there's like 5,000 of you? Why? How is it? How? Kizungu inanilemea. How can it be that all of you are looking towards one person to save you? Because you must believe that that single person is a Superman, right? Not a human like you. That one person must be a God in order for that one person to be able to save all 5,000 of you. What special powers do they have that you don't? But that is the mind of the African. That's the mind of the Kenyan. So look at all these African men begging one person to save them. First of all, they believe that they need to be saved. So they believe that they are inadequate in and of themselves. That's why they need someone to save them. And there's 5,000 of you can form an army if you have 5,000 people. Really, you can. But they won't. You can organize a group in a way for some people to provide security, some people to go out foraging, some people to light the fire. But you can clearly see that these civilians don't have any organizational capacity. But even more important, they are saying that they haven't eaten for days. Look at all these people, 5,000 people. Even more, maybe they're even more than 5,000. I'm just guessing. All of them saying they haven't eaten for days. And that they are looking towards this Mzungu to save them. And let me tell you, that town is next to the ocean. They can easily go to the ocean and try and fish. But no. No. They want to be saved by Mzungu. Why Mzungu? Well, because they go into church and they worship a statue of a Mzungu, which is supposed to be their God. And so it's very easy to transfer that attitude towards a tourist. isn't it? So that every tourist that shows up is literally your God. See, this is the sort of thing that we say has to end. This mentality of being dependent, always begging someone to come and help you. I remember seeing on TV the Minister of Roads, for Kenya, and I've spoken about this before. They wanted to build the phase 2 of Ngong Road, and phase 2 was 3 kilometers, and they were begging donors to come and help them build 3 kilometers of road. I want you to think, an entire government begging foreigners to help them build you cannot build 3 kilometers of road on your own. You have to beg someone. And so the Japanese showed up and said, okay, we will build for you the 3 kilometers of road. So the question is, who builds the 3 kilometers of road in Japan for the Japanese? Who do they beg? But no, the government in Kenya was begging foreigners to build 3 kilometers of road. It is the same attitude and the same spirit that you can see in this crowd. Begging, not organizing. No, they're not saying we will organize ourselves, we will do this. No, begging. The African man is always getting helped, always getting assisted, cannot do anything for self. Can never do anything for self. Always begging, always a beggar. Even the things you can do for yourself, you won't do it. So, what is that mind that makes grown men become beggars? So that even when they become members of the government, the spirit and the attitude of a beggar never leaves them. Always begging someone. Can never make anything for themselves. Cannot make shoes, cannot make clothes, cannot make bicycles, cannot make motorcycles, cannot make cars, cannot make planes, cannot make anything for self. So that if the whole world disappeared, he goes back to the Stone Age immediately. Can't do anything for self. Just think, if the Chinese today refused to send underwear to Kenya, most Kenyans will be walking around with no underwear. What kind of country can't even manufacture its own underwear? That the foreign man must make the underwear that you're wearing. Well, this is modern day Kenya. And this is by no means unique to Kenya. But I'm just focusing on Kenya. So it is the mind. The mind is the problem. All these problems that you can see us having, it is the mind. The mind is broken. And this raises other questions about, avoiding civilian populations becoming, victims. So how do you avoid that? First of all, you demystify guns. Number 2, you legalize guns. Every civilian has the right to have a gun so that you can never be a victim. If you're attacked, you can fight back. Number 3, you need to teach military science in class. In secondary school, starting from 1, you need to teach military science to all students so that they can have an idea of how to organize themselves in case of national emergency. You need basic weapons training for all students. Any child who's above the age of 12 years old needs to be able to strip down a rifle and put it back together. By the time they're 13 years old, they should be able to shoot a rifle. So that you don't end up in a situation like Garissa, whereby very, very many students, and these are big people, these are university students, these are grown-ups, lined up to get beheaded with no resistance whatsoever. That is a failure of education. Education is not just about counting 1 to 10 and telling people, all these lies about Vasco da Gama and the rest of the stuff that, the useless information they give students. No, you need practical training for you to become a population that can defend itself. You need military science class and you need weapons training. Otherwise, you end up in this situation. Just look at how pathetic these people look. These are grown-ups begging for food, can't organize themselves. I'm not even seeing them beginning to make weapons. Fine, you cannot make a gun in those conditions, but you can surely make a bow and arrow. At the very least, to be able to defend yourself in case these maniacs attack you again. You're not seeing that. You're seeing them beg. You're not seeing them organize. These are beggars. So in order to end this culture of begging, this culture of looking towards the Mzungu for salvation, it is absolutely important to take down the statues that Africans worship and call God. All those cartoon paintings that you've been told are angels, I don't know what, they all have to come down. You have to look to yourself for help, not to the Mzungu for help. That's the bottom line. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Kenya's time has come. Our time has come. Your time has come. A time to succeed and not fail. A time to grow wealth and not poverty. A time to go up and not down. It's time for you to stop walking and drive your car. Stop renting and buy yourself a house. It's your time to get blessed. Join the ChaChaVi movement and together let us kick poverty and unemployment out of Kenya. Become a member today. Donate what you can. And remember that the ChaChaVi is the only political organization in Kenya that is squarely built upon Christian values, unlike the rest. We'll see you next time. Thank you.